Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's show we've got a review for Six Flags Over Texas, and I'm going to come out with a really big statement just to start this review, and that is, I think it might be the best Six Flags park. So anyway, with that out of the way, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more content, and let's get more into it. So, for those who don't know, this was the original Six Flags park, built very close, if not in Dallas. Well, it's in Arlington, but really close to it. And it's generally seen as like a classic park, a park with like lots of heritage, lots of history. It's some decent theming, some decent presentation. Clearly, they do look after the park, and I think it really shows. Like, it was so nice being there. It was just generally like just really clean, really tidy. There was lots of shade. There was lots of like fans and stuff like that. There was just so many things to make you comfortable and have an enjoyable day. And it had a really intuitive and quite easy to work out layout as well. And the thing is as well, I have so little to really criticise the park on. Right, so let's get into it, because there are a few big reasons why. So I think New Texas Giant, I'm going to have its own separate review for it, and probably the same with Titan, but I will say I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and I actually thought Titan was extremely good as well. And then from that, you have so many good supporting coasters. So you have things like Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, which was absolutely phenomenal, by the way. Even if it did kind of break down a few times, we did eventually get on it. And even though we had to wait a while, well worth it, really good ride. Their 4D free spin was mental. I've never spun so many times, I don't think, on the ride. Then you have like proper like history coasters, like the Mine Train, even though my friend did find it very painful. Much to my amusement, I will say. And also they have like a classic roller coaster in Judge Roy Scream as well, which was really not necessarily anything groundbreaking, but at least, you know, wasn't uncomfortable or rough. And then they have so many other rides on top of that. So they also have like a spinning coaster. They have a new water coaster in Aquaman, which is possibly one of the only downsides. It did break down as we were sat in the seat, but not able to actually experience the ride. They do also then have the classic Batman the Ride, which pretty much every Six Flags park has at this point. So yeah, and they also do have a cool bobsleigh as well. So they're always one of our favourite sort of rides as well. They have a train. They have a really good rapids. They do have a log flume, but sadly it was off on the day we were there. And they do also have the extremely cool, I think it's like an oil tower in the middle of the park, which is like 300 odd feet, where you just get some phenomenal views from it. So good, so good. I think that's the thing. I think where my expectations weren't quite raised for the park, I just really enjoyed it so much more. And there was so little which went wrong, and just generally the park was just lovely to walk around. And just generally the last hour at this park was probably quite possibly one of the best like sort of hours I've ever had at a theme park. Like, we managed to get a ride on Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, then managed to go all the way over to the other side of the park to get a ride on the front row of New Texas Giant, where they did one of my personal favourite things at a theme park. They either let you re-ride or stay on. I know that, as in, you might have to re-ride, but you have to change seats and stay on. You can just sit where you are, which I love, where you don't have to go all the way around the queue just to go on it again when there's no one in the station. And then they did the same thing on Titan as well. So we're on the front row, and they actually had the last train of the day, but because I was like, they actually asked whether or not we'd just like to go around again, which was so nice, because they could have easily just been like, yeah, day's finished, like, yeah, last train. But it was just like, so we actually ended up back-to-back front row right on it, which again, phenomenal stuff, really good fun, really enjoyed it. Now, I did say there was a couple of negatives, and they are quite minor. As I say, obviously we did have to get taken off Aquaman, which was a bit disappointing. And I noticed it's a really small bit, and it does seem a bit like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but there was a little bit where people have thrown up and hadn't been cleaned, which is never particularly pleasant. Obviously, I don't know how long it's been there for. Obviously, if it's been there all day, that's a lot worse if it's been there for like 5 minutes. So that was a little issue. And also, there was quite a long queue for like food, and the food was, it was okay, just not phenomenal. It was, they're probably the only overarching sort of criticisms I have for it. But for the most part, absolutely enjoyed my day. As I say, I think it might be my favourite Six Flags parks I've been to. Just generally, I would happily go again. They possibly do need like some like major, another major coaster to really like fill out their lineup. In all honesty, something like a large scale like launch coaster I think would be absolutely ideal. Or like something with like with multiple inversions, I suppose, like maybe like one of like the new Vekoma models maybe. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.